What's happening, everyone? My name is Max. I'm a communication skills coach. What I do on this channel is I look at all different types of people's communication skills. Today we're going to be checking out Elon Musk. If you haven't yet, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button. Looking forward to jumping into the video today. Here we go.
So, Elon, a few hours ago, you made an offer to buy Twitter. Why?
How'd you know?
I like how Elon's playing with his audience right off the bat. This is an interesting situation because you've got a conversation going on here, but you've got your audience in front of you. So Elon making sure to engage his audience. He's showing his awareness here and playing off the audience. I'm enjoying that.
Little bird tweeted in my ear or something. I don't know.
Was there a question?
Why make that offer?
Oh, so, well, I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech. Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square. It's just really important that people have both the...
Notice how his body's sort of shifting toward the audience.
One of the things that I believe Twitter should do is open source the algorithm.
But he's also looking back at Chris, the interviewer, to make sure to engage him as well. So a good conversationalist, a good presenter will do that. And notice how, Elon, when he speaks, there's quite a few pauses, hesitations.
The algorithm. And
I think what's happening when he's hesitating and pausing and stuttering, that's him trying to search for the word that feels right and honest for him.
It's important to the function of democracy. It's important to the function of the United States as a free country and many other countries, and to help freedom in the world more broadly than the U.S. And so I think it's...
This guy's trying to get a word in here and interrupt.
Freedom in the world more broadly than the U.S.
But Elon's like so much in his train of thought that nothing's going to disrupt him right now.
I mean, I could technically afford it.
I heard that. I heard that.
But this is not a way to sort of make money. My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted.
Part of why I get the sense that he's being honest is because he's not coming into this interview, it doesn't seem like, with a rehearsed answer or a script. To me, that's a sign of his honesty. And when he does deliver his message, although there are quite a few pauses and hesitations and ums and ahs, he still delivers it with a great amount of certainty and belief. I think the pausing and the hesitations in his speech, I think that could potentially contribute to what people really like about Elon. What we might be seeing with Elon is something to do with the Pratfall Effect, which essentially says if you make mistakes in your speech and your delivery, as long as you're perceived by your audience as someone who's competent in your subject matter, then that will actually engender rapport between you and your audience. Your audience will actually like you more. He's not perfectly smooth in his speech and his delivery. And as a result, I think that could add to his charm and his likability. I think it humanizes him in a way.
Twitter or any forum is bound by the laws of the country that it operates in.
You can't do the equivalent of crying fire in a movie theater, for example.
No, that would be a crime.
Yeah, right.
It should be a crime.
But here's the challenge: is that it's such a nuanced difference between different things. So there's...
Notice Elon listening there. I notice he really does give the person that he's speaking with the space to finish their question. And when he's got his attention and his focus on you, it's like all of his brain power is on you. He's an intense listener. You notice when he's looking at you, he's there, right? He's there.
To violence.
Yeah.
That's a no if it's illegal. There's hate speech, which some forms of hate speech are fine. I hate spinach.
I mean, if it's sauteed in a cream sauce, it can be quite nice.
But the problem is...
Elon's trying to keep this conversation a little lighter. He made a joke at the beginning. He's made a couple of jokes throughout.
How'd you know?
I like that Elon's bringing that humor and inserting it into this more serious conversation. What the humor is doing is it's breaking people's guards down. It's putting their walls down. And the more things we can do to disarm people, or to bring their guards down, I should say, and connect with them on a human level, I think the better. We need our audience to be engaged and listening.
Having tweets sort of mysteriously be promoted and demoted with no insight into what's going on, having a black box algorithm promote some things and not other things, I think this can be quite dangerous.
So the idea of opening the algorithm is a huge deal, and I think.
And Elon was ready to continue speaking there, but he saw that Chris was starting to speak, and he let him go.
Quite dangerous.
So the idea of opening.
He's actually a very respectful conversationalist. He doesn't really seem to interrupt people. Yes, when he's in a thought pattern or when he's trying to articulate his thoughts, it's hard, it seems like, to disrupt him from that. But, you know, he's certainly given Chris the space and the time of day, it feels like, to finish his thoughts.
Yeah. People would welcome that, of understanding exactly how it's making the decision.
And critique it.
And critique
like what I mean is, like I think the code should be on GitHub, you know? So,
and showing that he's listening by adding on to what Chris was saying there. So Chris made a point, and then Elon said, and critique it.
And critique it.
So he's really listening in, and a conversational tip right there is you can add on to someone's point to demonstrate that you're listening. And I don't think Elon was necessarily consciously trying to show that he was listening, but he's very engaged and actively involved in the dialogue and the banter between these two guys. And that's just a way to kind of build on the conversation.
And so people can look through it and say, like, I see a problem here, I don't agree with this. They can highlight issues,
right.
Suggest changes, in the same way that you sort of update Linux or Signal or something like that, you know?
But as I understand it, like at some point,
Elon's hilarious. Like he's kind of like a robot in a way. And he's very aware. You hear the one guy clapping. He's just like, "Yep, thank you."
That the algorithm itself can't, I don't think yet, tell the difference between legal and okay and definitely obnoxious. And so the question is, which humans, you know, make that call? Twitter and Facebook and others, you know, they've hired thousands of people to try to help make wise decisions. And the trouble is that no one can agree on what is wise.
It's true. That's a tough conversation. And notice how Elon was absorbing that information the whole time. It's something that I'm learning right now about Elon. I haven't seen a ton of his interviews, but here what I'm learning is he is actually a really good listener.
I'm not saying that I have all the answers here, but I do think that we want to be just very reluctant to delete things and have just be very cautious with permanent bans. Timeouts, I think, are better than sort of permanent bans.
That's another thing we can take away from this conversation from a communication skills perspective. He said, I'm not saying I know all the answers or I don't have all the answers.
I'm not saying that I have all the answers here.
When you don't have all the answers or you don't know something, I always believe that honesty is the best policy. Like, we don't have to know everything. We don't have to have all the answers. People will forgive you if you don't know. And I think it goes back to that Pratfall Effect, where as long as we're perceived as someone who's competent in the subject matter to a certain degree, then it's okay if we don't have all the answers. It's okay if we mess up. As this clip is coming to an end, I think that's maybe the biggest takeaway. Elon doesn't necessarily have the most polish in his speech.
I'm not saying that I have all the answers.
Not the smoothest conversationalist, but that's okay.
And a good sign as to whether there is free speech is someone you don't like allowed to say something you don't like. And if that is the case, then we have free speech. And it's damn annoying when someone you don't like says something you don't like.
So Elon really does do a good job from a presentation skill standpoint of making sure to engage different people in the audience. I think that what that does is it shows people that you want them to hear your message. I think it shows your confidence in your message, but what it also does is it can show people that you care about them.
That is a sign of a healthy, functioning, free speech situation.
So there you go. That's Elon Musk, a fascinating guy to listen to, a fascinating communicator. So guys, if you want to watch my uncut reaction, all you need to do is go to my Patreon link below. Other than that, my name is Max. I appreciate you tuning in. I will catch you soon. Peace.